Undisputed junior featherweight champion Naoya Inoue made quick work of late replacement Ye-Joon Kim, scoring a fourth-round knockout in Tokyo. The win was never in doubt, unlike who he'll face next. Inoue dominated from the start, finishing Kim's spirited campaign in the fourth round after the challenger dared him to come forward. The monster obliged with a vicious right hand to extend his unbeaten streak to 29-0, with his 23rd consecutive world title defense. Overall, I think it was a good match, but I didn't have enough time to study my opponent, Inoue admitted. So I just took some time to see what's coming from him. Like 4 rounds wasn't fast enough. Widely regarded as one of boxing's top pound-for-pound talents, the 31-year-old is now set for a major 2025, and he announced his intentions to fight in Las Vegas and Saudi Arabia later this year. But who will he face? Promoter Eddie Hearn is pushing for Inoue to fight WBA mandatory challenger Murodjon Akhmadaliev, who Hearn just happens to promote. And he warned Inoue that he risks losing his WBA title if he doesn't sign the contract. The WBA will write to Naoya Inoue and say, "Enough's enough. You will have to fight Akhmadaliev or you'll be stripped of your WBA title and you will no longer be undisputed," stated Hearn. Watch this now. Naoya Inoue will vacate his WBA world title. In other boxing news, the long-awaited clash between Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn, which has been 2 years or 30 years in the making, depending on how you look at it, is set for April 26 at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in London. The middleweight clash will settle their family rivalry, which began with their fathers Chris Eubank Sr. and Nigel Benn in the 1990s, and will headline a Riyadh season event. Benn was supposed to throw down with Eubank Jr. in 2022 until Benn tested positive for the banned substance clomiphene. After 2 years of legal battles, Benn's suspension has now been lifted, which paved the way for negotiations to resume. And the former long-time welterweight champion Keith Thurman will return to the ring in Sydney, Australia this March after a 3-year absence. Thurman, whose only loss came in 2019 when he dropped the belt to the great Manny Pacquiao by split decision, hasn't fought since a win over Mario Barrios in February of 2022. "This is going to be one of the greatest comebacks in 2025, Thurman said. "Time does not take away the ability of champions." His Australian debut against Brock Jarvis this March 12 in Sydney is to set up a showdown with the home nation's Tim Tszyu for later in the year. Usman Nurmagomedov successfully retained the Bellator lightweight title after a thrilling 5-round majority decision victory over Paul Hughes. What a defense of the now defunct Bellator belt at the PFL Road to Dubai Champions Series means, though, is anyone's guess. Despite a strong push and a leg-wobbling switch kick from Hughes in the middle rounds, as well as a 1-point deduction for a low blow in the third, Nurmagomedov utilized his superior grappling to hold on to the belt. Despite the close contest, though, he's not interested in a replay anytime soon. "You have to earn a rematch with a couple, 2, 3, 4 fights in PFL," Nurmagomedov said. "I think if he even go to the tournament for $1 million, he 100% chance to take this belt. Then we can talk rematches." Nurmagomedov's unbeaten record remains intact, but it's unclear how the PFL will handle his Bellator title amid consolidation efforts and the PFL's transition into its new era. On the topic of title confusion, Vadim Nemkov submitted Timothy Johnson in the first round of the co-main event, but he did not defend his vacated Bellator light heavyweight title or his heavyweight PFL versus Bellator Champion of Champions super belt. So what does that make Nemkov? Over in the UFC, the search continues for someone who can challenge Islam Makhachev's lightweight title reign, and lightweight contender Beneil Dariush has a compelling candidate in mind. And it's not him. While Makhachev has defeated 3 of the top 5 UFC lightweights, Dariush believes former featherweight champion Max Holloway could present serious problems. While Dariush thinks Arman Tsarukyan would have been a stern test for Makhachev, had Tsarukyan been able to make their fight, he sees Holloway's attributes posing even bigger problems. I think Max Holloway could be an interesting fight for Makhachev, said Dariush, because he's hard to hold, he has excellent cardio, and he throws a lot of volume, and I think these are things that could be difficult for Makhachev. Dariush pointed to the bantamweight champion Merab Dvalishvili's recent victory over Makhachev's teammate Usman Nurmagomedov, a fighter with a very similar style to Makhachev, as evidence of Holloway's potential. If you watch the Nurmagomedov fight with Merab, Merab has excellent cardio, and he was able to do so much with that excellent cardio. I don't remember the last time I saw Holloway in the 4th or 5th round and he's slowing down, so I think he has something similar. With his relentless stamina and superior striking, Holloway could prove to be Makhachev's toughest test yet, and a clash between the two would undoubtedly be one of the most anticipated fights of 2025. Back to Merab though. The Georgian plans to break the bantamweight title defense record with at least 3 title defenses in 2025 alone. And Aljamain Sterling, Dvalishvili's teammate and the current record holder, believes Merab is more than capable of doing this. 100%, I told him in the back room after he won, said Sterling. I said, brother, I'm telling you right now, you just got your first defense against who they say is supposed to be the toughest guy, and look what you did. Look how you made him look. Looking ahead, Dvalishvili aims for rematches with the former champions Petr Yan and Sugar Sean O'Malley, both of whom he has already beaten. Having secured victories over the top 3 contenders, Dvalishvili is already running out of challengers. After that, who else is there? The former interim champ Corey Sandhagen is the 4th-ranked contender, but he has losses to both Nurmagomedov and Yan. And the remaining member of the top 5 is the former flyweight champ Davison Figueiredo, but he most recently lost to Petr Yan as well. With no clear rivals left in the bantamweight top 5, Dvalishvili is free to choose his next opponent at will, and given his collection of scalps, few would argue against his right to pick his path. In the Superstar rematch, Tawanchai put on a clinic in the main event of 170 to score a second-round TKO against Superbon. The Thai star scored 3 knockdowns to defend his featherweight Muay Thai World Championship. After a close decision win in 2023, Tawanchai stayed patient, using his feints and counters to weather Superbon's aggressive attack to set up a near-perfect second round where he stunned Superbon with a flurry of punches. A standing 8-count followed, but Tawanchai's patience and power had paid off. The 25-year-old moved in for the kill and finished the job with a devastating 10-punch combo to secure the TKO victory via the 3-knockdown rule. With the win, Tawanchai improved to 134-31 in his career, with 10-1 in the ONE Championship. He went 2 for 2 against Superbon, and he collected a $50K performance bonus for his incredible finish. In the co-main event, Fabricio Andrade wasted no time in his rematch with Kwon Won-il. The Brazilian finished the fight in just 42 seconds to retain his ONE Bantamweight MMA Championship. The finish was eerily similar to their first bout, with Andrade landing a lethal liver shot that crumpled Kwon in an instant. The Korean was caught off guard by Wonderboy's swift left hook that ended the fight, which had barely got started. Andrade's 10th MMA win was his first defense, and it earned him a $50K bonus as well. And in the other title fight of the night, Nabil Anane shocked the sold-out Impact Arena and the Muay Thai world by quickly taking out the Scottish powerhouse Nico Carrillo to become the ONE interim bantamweight Muay Thai world champion. Leading up to the fight, Carrillo had been billed as an unbeatable destroyer. Few people gave Anane a chance at beating the King of the North, but the 6'4", 20-year-old phenom scored a second knockdown with an incredible high kick. Carrillo's legs were obviously shot, and he soon found himself being overwhelmed by one last combination that sent Carrillo down for the third and final time. With the sensational victory, Anane secured interim gold and a rematch with Superlek Katmu Kao to unify the world title belts this March. In other highlights from the card, Bampara Kiate pulled off a huge upset by knocking out Smoke and Joe Nadawat. Kiate scored 3 knockdowns in under 2 minutes to secure the win. Since McClinby bounced back from 2 straight losses with a brutal first-round TKO over Nauzat Trujillo. It was another 3 knockdown rule that saw Aquaman earn the win and a $50K performance bonus. Marcelo Garcia made his triumphant return to professional competition after a 14-year layoff. The 9-time BJJ World Champion submitted Masakazu Imanari in their submission grappling bout with a north-south choke. Masaki Noiri stopped Shakir Al-Tegriti in their featherweight kickboxing bout with a series of relentless low kicks, with the final blow breaking Tegriti's shin in the second round for the knockout. And Surianlek staged a stunning comeback to defeat Tanzin by landing not 1, but, you guessed it, 3 knockdowns for the win.
Thanks for watching, and remember, if you want more fight sports in your life, just hit the subscribe button.